email. I don't know if maybe I deleted it, but I have it down for an admonishment, but I didn't see any email with any concerns. So, good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez resuming the criminal docket for the 210th District Court for November 4th, 2021. Again, all matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube. Mr. Buckleha, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, Judge. This is cause number 2019-0D0-6358, State of Texas versus Perez. Announcement, counsel, please.
Brian Herrera.
She is logging on, Judge, right now.
Yeah, I just saw her pop up.
Brenda Slayandia for probation, Your Honor.
Okay.
Brian Herrera on behalf of the state.
So let's see if Ms. Perez gets connected. So that one, unless she connects, doesn't appear to be ready. Are we ready on anything else?
Yes, Judge. Let me. Got Nevada's on page 5. Cause number 2020-0D0-1004, State of Texas versus Armando Nevares. Announcement of counsel, please.
Brian Herrera on behalf of the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Martin on behalf of Mr. Nevada is ready to proceed as well, Your Honor.
We're here for a judge's conference. Client has been in custody for quite some time. What are we doing on this one?
Judge, so Ms. Martin had countered with a recommendation of 10 TDC, and respectfully, the state declines that offer. We will stick by our 25 TDC offer and proceed to trial.
When is trial set?
I believe it's on December 2nd, Your Honor.
Okay, we do have 2 panels that day, so I mean, gear up as if you're going, because we do have, I know 2 panels might be low, but he's been in jail over 600 days. So.
Mr. Real quick, I'm not sure if you were confusing this matter with the other Nevadas.
Oh,
He's
I am.
for trial till 5/6.
Okay.
Oh. Armando Nevares isn't set till May?
Yes, ma'am. He's been
Okay.
continued from before, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Martin, anyway, if I can get you a trial date sooner, is that useful for you, or are you wanting to stick with the May date?
Let's go on ahead and stick with the May date. Your Honor, I am planning to be out of town on December the 10th. It's not going to work for me. And then I am going to be asking for some time off in April. So, I mean, it's up to the court. But
Right.
Okay.
So I gotta assume, Sandy, it's specially set, is it?
Correct,
It is.
Judge. Yes, ma'am.
Judge.
Okay, so hopefully we'll be in good circumstances to where that will mean it will really go. So we'll see you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who's next, Tree?
Judge, do we need to reapproach on Mrs. Martin's client, Reyes? I believe they were in the breakout room, weren't they?
She didn't, she left, or Julia, did you need to talk to the court on Mr. Reyes for anything?
No, Your Honor, I did encourage him to turn himself in. I told him to email me because that's how we communicate best when he is going to do that, so I can get him a setting with the court. I also advised him that Mr. Herrera would be getting a recommendation to me, and I will communicate that to him once I receive it from Mr. Herrera. That's
Beautiful.
basically what happened in the breakout room, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Judge, if I may interrupt real quick,
Mhm.
Miss Julia Martin, can you, when you speak to him, will you please let him know he needs to report to his probation officer because he doesn't open mid-September.
I did mention that to him. And again, he told me that he would and that he has no problems giving UAs. So, I mean, I did mention that to him, Ms. Carly.
Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Of course.
Thank you. All right, Chewy, who's next?
Okay, Judge, Perla Perez. I think she finally connected.
Okay,
Okay, it's cause number 2019-0D06358. State of Texas versus Perla Perez. Announcement of council.
Brian Herrera on behalf of the state. Ready, Your Honor.
Brenda Slayandia for adult probation.
and Ms. Perez, can you hear us okay? I know we were connecting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you'll go ahead and mute for now, I can tell you though, we are scheduled for an admonishment hearing today. So generally that means something is not going well on probation, but let me hear from the probation officer and then we'll get to you. Ms. Salayandia, you had requested an admonishment hearing. I don't know regarding what, so can you please give me an update?
Yes, Your Honor. I requested an admonishment hearing because Ms. Perez has not completed her drug offender education. I've given her several referrals and month after month, she either claims to be sick, she needs another referral, or something happens and she doesn't register. That is the only class she needs. The other thing she needs to address are her probation fees and court costs. She has a balance of $792 on court costs. And then she has a balance of $1,262 in probation fees. I have given her a financial review so we can try to lower some of those fees and maybe she can finish drug offender education with that money. All her UAs have been negative. And the other issue that I do have with her as well is that she never remembers her report date. I give it to her and then she calls and asks for it again, and then she still reports late. Ms. Perez probation does term in February of next year. So she needs to get moving on her conditions, Your Honor, if she doesn't want to be extended or something, other to be done by the court.
What are her monthly fees?
They are $60.
And what, I didn't hear the result of her financial
It's
assessment.
fairly gonna be done for November, Your Honor.
Is she working, do you know?
She was working at a haunted house for the Halloween season, but I believe she is out of work right now.
You know, was she working before she was at that, sounds like seasonal work?
She was working at Arrows Adult Video for a period of time, and then she was unemployed, and then she started working at the haunted house.
So for my purposes, I don't hear any long-term, I guess, financial stability. So in terms of today's hearing, her probation fees are going to be modified to $25 a month, retroactive to the date she was placed on probation. Ms. Perez, here is my problem right now. How often is she being tested, Mrs. Salayandi?
About every 2 months.
Every 2 months. And she started when? She was put on probation when?
She was put on probation February 18th, 2020.
So she's almost done. Ms. Perez, why are you not reporting when you're supposed to your probation officer? You need to unmute.
All right. I have a hard time remembering. I usually write it down. I thought I was pretty good at. I understand that at first I was having a difficult time, but
Hold on, Ms. Perez, hold on. You're breaking up really bad. I don't know if you're moving.
good at reporting on.
Okay, Ms. Perez, I need you to stop moving because we didn't hear the last couple of sentences you said. So if you'll just stop moving and repeat why you were not reporting on time.
I thought I was reporting on time. I didn't know it was an issue. I understand that at the beginning I was forgetting the dates, but recently I thought I was doing a good job, and I do apologize. I didn't know it was still an issue. I suffer from like mental health issues, so I do have like a bad memory.
Okay, So here's what we're gonna do going forward, Miss Salandia. Number one, I need you to provide Miss Perez exactly the dates that she's supposed to be reporting, I guess as a reminder.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're gonna come back in January. Sandy, let's find something mid-January to get a probation status. She is not to be tested bi-monthly. She is to be tested monthly. She's gonna have a reduction in her probation fees retroactive, so that balance obviously is gonna go down. I'm not hearing very stable financials here. You know, she's doing seasonal work, things like that. That's not a steady income, I don't believe.
Right.
However, we are gonna have her tested, and that should free up some resources, Ms. Perez, for you to complete the drug offender class. So I'm telling you this, Ms. Perez, if you fail to report as instructed at the time, meaning timely, not when you remember, and you have negative monthly drug tests, and you have completed your class, then you can anticipate that you will not be extended. But I'll tell you this, if we have trouble with you complying with those terms, Ms. Alandia, I'm not really looking at, is she on deferred?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not really looking at extending her because understand something, Ms. Perez. When you don't comply with probation and you're not doing what you're supposed to, you're already telling me that you're not a good candidate for probation. So what I end up doing is having them file a motion to adjudicate you guilty, and then we just put you in jail. I feel very certain you don't want to go to jail. Maybe you do, but I don't think so. So do what you need to do, which is going to be monthly tests, report on time, and get your drug class done. If you have any trouble, Ms. Salayandia, please email me a detailed report of what the issue is. We'll come back in January, and if she's good to go, we may be done. Okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Yes.
If not, I'm not really looking at extending. If we have further non-compliance, we'll just revoke her. We'll adjudicate her. Okay? Ms. Perez, do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So you'll get your hearing date for January. If there are any issues, Ms. Perez, if anything is really, I guess, bogging you down in terms of like whatever your life responsibilities are, I need you to communicate that to your probation officer so that I know if there's something else going on.
Yeah,
But
I just,
other than that, mhm.
sorry, I
Go
don't mean
ahead.
to interrupt. I apologize. I also just found out that I'm 8 weeks pregnant. So it's just, I've just been under a lot of stress and overwhelmed lately, and I do apologize, but I will comply because I don't want to go to jail because I'm pregnant.
All right. If you can, Ms. Alandia, to the extent that maybe we'll look at waiving some fees and costs, continue to do the financial, please.
Of course, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
We'll see you in January. Good luck to you, Ms. Perez. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Who's next, Chuy?
Okay, Judge Filimon Sanchez is logging on.
Okay, Mr. Dakotes?
Yes, Judge. Thanks. Sorry, I had to jump to another court, but I'm here and ready.
Sure. Let's go and call it again, Chuy.
Yes, Judge. It's cause number 2020-030-2041, State of Texas versus Filimon Mitchell Sanchez. Announcement of council, please.
Brian Herrera on behalf of the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Carl Dakotas, Filimon Sanchez, ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and there's an individual, Major Sanchez. Is that Filemon Sanchez? Mr. Sanchez, are you there? I can't hear him, and Mr. Sanchez, I can't hear you, and I don't see that you're muted. Are you connected to audio? Mr. Sanchez, would you say something? There it goes. Okay, Mr. Sanchez, it shows you're connected. Can you unmute, please? *6, something like that. Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your client finally appeared. All
I
right, so a
apologize
couple
about
of
that.
things. Mr. Sanchez, just hold on a second. So we have had, and I believe we were set for final hearing plea deadline, Mr. Dakotes, is that right? Or were we at something else?
No, Judge, I believe you're right.
Okay, so final hearing plea deadline, Mr. Sanchez, means that that's your final time to represent to the court whether you're going to accept an offer or not, and if you're going to go to trial. So I know this has been outstanding. In fact, I think we reset it twice, and I don't know if there's a disconnect, a misunderstanding, but I need to know on the record, first of all, Mr. Herrera, what is the rec on Mr. Sanchez's cases?
Your Honor, it's 6 TDC on a lesser included second-degree felony. And then the third-degree enhancement for the state jail.
I'm sorry, you said 6 years?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I need to know from your client, Mr. Dakotes, if he is taking that offer or not, so that he can either plead or go to trial.
Yes, Judge, absolutely. My understanding is that he is going to take the 6 years, if he would like to chime in.
So before, I mean, if you're going to allow him to speak.
Yeah, I don't mind him talking, Judge.
All right,
I'd prefer it on the record. Yeah, thanks.
Sure. Mr. Sanchez, that's the offer.
Yes, ma'am. I have not even spoken to my lawyer at all about my case, ma'am, at all. Like at all. I'm gonna just throw that out there, ma'am. That's the truth, ma'am. Like,
so before you say anything else, Mr. Sanchez, hold on a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Zoom has this nifty little thing where we can put you all in a breakout room. I'm going to put you there so that you all can speak, you and your attorney, and then we'll bring you back in about just a few minutes, Mr. Dakotes, maybe about 5 minutes, okay? If you need to come back.
Thank you, Judge.
But Mr. Sanchez, let me tell you something. You have not been reporting to court, okay? And so that was another concern in you being here today. We'll address that when we come back. You are not to leave. When you go into that breakout room, you can leave the breakout room to come back here. So make sure you select that option and don't leave the meeting. If you accidentally leave the meeting, you must return exactly as you did right now, okay? But we're going to put you in that space with your attorney so you can talk to him, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. We
All right.
talked for about an hour yesterday, but I'll talk to him a little more today. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
The room is open, gentlemen.
They're trying to sell me out.
Mr. Sanchez.
Mr. Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
don't make any comments. Just go into the room and we'll come back. Oh, all right. Who was next that needed the interpreter?
Avalar is here, Judge.
Who?
Mr. Avalar for Ms. Gomez.
Okay. Hence the math. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So is that who needs the interpreter?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and is that her on the LGQ7?
Yes,
Judge.
Judge.
Okay, let's get started there.
It's cause number 2020-0D01252.
We have interpreters set up.
Yeah, we need to get the interpreter.
Sure, I don't have hosts, so I need you to
Okay,
turn it
hang on. Let me take care of that. I'm sorry about that.
Mr. Avalar, has anybody talked to the client about how to set up the interpretation function?
I feel comfortable in saying no.
Okay.
Judge,
Señora Gómez.
Just a minute, Mr. Dakotes.
excuse me.
Señora Gómez, ¿sí me puede escuchar? Pero que nosotros no la podemos escuchar porque tiene el micrófono apagado. Si lo puede prender, por favor.
Ok. Ay, ¿ya me escucha?
Ya la podemos escuchar. Ahora
Ok.
tiene, bueno, obviamente es un celular. Chuy, if you can give us the controls, that way she can see what I'm talking about. Si toca la pantalla, salen esos 3 puntitos junto de la palabra más o more. Si su teléfono lo tiene en español o en inglés.
En español.
Bueno, va a decir más enseguida esos 3 puntos. Entonces, al seleccionarlo, va a hacer 2 selecciones. La primera va a seleccionar interpretación de idiomas, selecciona el español, y luego ahí abajo también va a seleccionar silenciar el audio original. Me dice cuando ya lo haya hecho.
So I'll just say this. Where did is Mr. Sanchez in the waiting room?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. DeCotes, were you done in the waiting room?
Yes, Judge. I was immediately apparent that communication has broken down.
Okay, so let's just hold on a second. I just
Thank
want to make sure we didn't lose him. Sorry, Mr. DeCotes, are you appointed?
Absolutely, Judge. I'm
And you're
absolutely
like
appointed.
number 2, right? Or number 3?
I'm number 2, and I don't think I can provide effective assistance of counsel anymore. It's bad, Judge.
Okay, I'll be
Okay.
right with you.
May
Señora
I
Gomez.
close out the breakout room? Sorry.
He can sit in the breakout room for a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Sí. 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 Está bien. Está bien.
Okay, had we already called this case? Should we?
Not yet, Judge.
Go ahead.
Cause number 2020-0D0-1252, State of Texas versus Maria de la Luz Gomez. Announcement of counsel, please.
Brian Herrera on behalf of the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Daniel Avalar for Maria Gomez, Your Honor. Good morning, Judge.
Mr. Abelar, I can't hear him.
Oh, no. Let me see.
You done the interpretation, Judge?
Interpretation function, Judge.
I have it. I have it on English and I have it on unmute original audio.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Daniel
Okay,
Avalar for Maria Gomez. Good morning, Judge.
good morning. And so I'm sorry, I don't have my docket available. What were we scheduled for today?
This was a reset from Tuesday, Your Honor.
But for what?
The court's concern was to review PR bond conditions should Gomez not sign the plea documents.
Okay, so I think we did receive plea documents on Miss Gomez, correct? And she's scheduled.
She's not scheduled, Your Honor. I was gonna ask you if I could do it for next week, ma'am.
Sure, that's fine. My other concern is, she has not had a monitor, correct?
Correct.
That's
Okay.
right, Judge.
Okay, was she on the original JMAG bond order?
As far as my memory has it, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, ma'am, I understand that we now have plea documents and it's anticipated that you will be pleading next week. And so understand that, one of the conditions that will be required is that you have a portable monitoring device, and I'm sure your attorney will go over that. Has not been a condition of your pretrial PR conditions. However, understand that it is anticipated that you will have that as you're on probation. So had we not had the plea set up, just know that we were going to change that, but it will be a probation condition if you are to plea. In the event the plea doesn't happen, ma'am and Mr. Avalar, I am just going to issue a PR order that is going to require that you have a monitor, okay?
We understand.
So I'm sure you'll explain that to your client. Thank you very much for appearing today.
No, thank you for having us, Judge. Appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Mr. Cifuentes.
Oh, gracias a usted. Yeah.
Chewy, do we need an interpreter anymore? I'm sorry if he said something, I didn't hear it. I just got off interpretation function.
I don't think he did.
Sorry, I'm here.
No, we're just asking if we need an interpreter for anyone else. I don't see anyone else. Mr. Sanchez clearly does not. Thank you, Mr. Cifuentes. I'll just make the call. You're free to go. Thank you.
Sorry, Judge, she's just walking back in.
Okay. Okay. So let's get back on the record on Philemon Sanchez and bring him in, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me go back and read Marissa's chat. Third attorney, he had PD until Robert Bettis substituted.
Yes.
So he hired Robert Bettis and then,
couldn't pay or something like that.
okay. All right, where's Mr. Sanchez?
Got
Yep.
about 20 seconds left before the room closes, Judge.
Sandy, do we have anything from the bonding company?
For Mr. Sanchez?
Mm-hmm.
No, ma'am.
When's his trial?
12-2, you said it with Ms. Velasquez, Judge. We've gone past trial date from before.
Oh. Mr. Sanchez, are you driving? Mr. Sanchez, if you're driving, I need you to pull over. All right. So, Chuy, would you recall the cases, please?
Yes, Judge. Cause number 2020-0D0-2041, State of Texas versus Filemon Mitchell Sanchez. Announcement of counsel, please.
Brian Herrera, on behalf of the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Carl Dakotas, Filemon Sanchez, ready, Judge.
And Mr. Sanchez returned from the breakout room as well. Mr. Sanchez, I asked you to stop driving, so I hope you're not driving at this point, but if you'll go ahead and unmute. We had, again, we're addressing the recommendation made by the state, and Mr. Dakotas, have you had some difficulties, sounds like, when you were in the breakout room? What are we doing?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what is the nature of the issue?
Mr. Sanchez does not want to go to trial, nor does he want to plead. And that's the problem. So our communication is kind of broken down. I am happy to try this case or to facilitate a plea, and I am at Your Honor's service. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have you been able to communicate over the course of your representation? I mean, even if you're not on the same page, were you able to remain in contact with your client as you needed?
Yes, Judge, and we had an at-length discussion yesterday. I've explained that it's either 6 years or we go to trial, and that's it. And Mr. Sanchez simply does not want to make a decision.
Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Dakotas is your third attorney. So we have an outstanding, what I remember, Mr. Dakotas, is we have a motion to suppress outstanding.
Yep, that I filed, right?
Okay, Mr. Herrera, how quickly can you be prepared to go on the motion to suppress?
Judge, I would just have to get my my lab expert subpoenaed and witnesses, so maybe 2 weeks. I mean,
give me a second. Okay. Sandy, what do we have on November 15th? Is that, can you tell me that's the Monday?
Yes, ma'am. We have 2 TROs. We have one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Okay.
With Mr. Salud and with Miss Ayala respectively.
Yeah, I don't think either of those will take very long. Mr. Dakotas,
Yes, Judge.
you've identified the specific issues on the motion to suppress. You know what witnesses you need, that kind of thing.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. I will be ready, and I understand if Your Honor has to give Mr. Sanchez a hard and fast deadline right now.
Yes, and that will be the case. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I wrote it down. What is the trial date?
12/2, Judge.
Okay, 12/2. So we do have the panels for that date. So Mr. Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
you have a trial set. Well, first of all, I need to know on the record whether or not you're accepting the 6 years TDC.
I haven't even, can I say something real quick, Your Honor, please? I haven't even spoken at all, at all about my case with my lawyer at all, ma'am. Like, I'm being honest right now. Like, I haven't talked to him at all about my case. So, like, I don't even know
So you were just in a breakout room with him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you gone to his office? Have
Yes,
you called him
ma'am.
on the phone?
Yes, but they're like real brief meetings, ma'am. Like, nothing that we ever talk about my case, ma'am, ever.
So here's what's going to happen though. You're going to go to trial because this is your third attorney, and I find it very hard to believe that you have been unable to communicate. I mean, I'm not seeing Mr. DeCotes as the problem here. So what's going to happen is he did his job and he filed his motion to suppress as is required by the court to help defend your case. He has negotiated on your behalf with the state, as have your other attorneys, and you're going to get your hearing. So are you accepting? I'm going to give you until the motion to suppress, Mr. DeCotes, to get a response for your client.
Sure.
I'm sure you all will be in communication and preparing for that motion to suppress.
Absolutely.
Mr. Herrera, I need you to gear up and get with Mr. DeCotes on who your witnesses are going to be. I am happy to accommodate, if we're talking about witnesses that are from out of town, to accommodate them remotely, Mr. DeCotes. I normally wouldn't do that, but if it'll help make sure that our motion goes forward. Sandy, I will need you to just look. I would prefer to do it in the morning. So if we can fit it in at about 10:30, that might not be the best time for or maybe 10 o'clock. Let's just do 10 o'clock. So if we have an out of town witness, they won't like mess with their, I don't know, lunch hour or anything like that. And so we'll do it on the 15th at 10 a.m. Coordinate on the witnesses, Mr. DeCotes. Get an email going. Mr. Sanchez, you need to mute. Get an email chain going with the prosecutor to make sure that you all are on the same page with the witnesses that you require so we can know very quickly. Let me tell you that if we have any issues with witnesses appearing, we are going to go forward on that date with the witnesses that we do have. So don't think because we don't have a witness, we're not going to have a hearing. We will continue from that date to accommodate any witnesses that are not available. It is going to be in person. So Mr. Sanchez will have to appear on Monday, November 15th at 10 a.m. at the courthouse, the 210 District Court on the 10th floor. If he is not here, I am going to issue a warrant for his arrest. The hearing will occur on that date, and then we'll just proceed that way going forward to make sure we have the suppression heard and that we're ready to go to trial. I'm also letting you know, Mr. Sanchez, that I will be asking in terms of the final hearing plea deadline, whether or not you are accepting the rec at that time. Mr. Herrera, I don't know if that is going to affect the fact that we're going on a motion to suppress, if that will affect the recommendation or not, but I'm going to need you to represent whether that will or will not on that date as well. So we have our suppression. We're going through the issues. If there's an issue here, we're going to go and hear it. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Mr.
for your time.
I appreciate your efforts on this. I will see you at the motion to suppress. If you need to come back to the court before then on this individual, please let us know.
Yes, Judge. Thank you for your time. I'm glad you had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Sanchez, and I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the 15th.
Bye-bye.
You're excused, Mr. Sanchez. Call your attorney. Who's next, Chewy?
Hey, Judge, we only have 2 other matters, but they do not need to go before you.
Okay, we can get off YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.